Few names resonate through history like Napoleon Bonaparte. His legacy is one of both admiration and controversy, a figure who has been studied and debated for centuries. A master strategist, a cunning politician, Napoleon's ability to outthink his opponents on the battlefield and in the political arena set him apart from his contemporaries. An emperor who redrew the map of Europe. His influence extended far beyond France, affecting the entire continent and leaving a lasting impact on European history. From the battlefields of Italy to the halls of power in Paris, his story is one of ambition, triumph, and ultimately, tragedy. His relentless pursuit of power led him to both great heights and devastating lows. Born on the island of Corsica, Napoleon's journey to the throne of France is a testament to the tumultuous era in which he lived. His early life on the island shaped his character and ambitions. The French Revolution had shattered the old order, leaving a power vacuum in its wake. This period of chaos and change provided the perfect backdrop for Napoleon's rise. Napoleon, with his sharp intellect and military genius, saw an opportunity. He meticulously studied the art of war and politics, preparing himself for the challenges ahead. He rose through the ranks of the French army, securing victory after victory. His tactical brilliance and fearless leadership earned him the loyalty of his soldiers and the respect of his enemies. His victories cemented his reputation as a brilliant military mind and captured the imagination of the French people. They saw in him a leader who could restore France to its former glory. But Napoleon's ambitions extended far beyond the battlefield. He envisioned a grand empire, one that would rival the greatest in history. He craved power, and he would stop at nothing to achieve it. His relentless drive and unyielding determination would lead him to reshape the world, for better or worse. Napoleon Bonaparte's story begins far from the gilded halls of French power, on the rugged island of Corsica. This Mediterranean island, known for its mountainous terrain and fierce independence, shaped the early years of one of history's most formidable leaders. Born in 1769, Napoleon was the second son of Carlo Bonaparte, a minor Corsican nobleman. His family, though of noble status, was not wealthy, and they struggled to make ends meet. His childhood was marked by financial hardship and political turmoil. Corsica had been annexed by France just a year before his birth, and the island was rife with resistance and unrest. Despite these challenges, Napoleon displayed an early aptitude for learning, excelling in mathematics and history. His mother, Letizia, was a strong influence, instilling in him a sense of discipline and ambition. At the age of 9, Napoleon left Corsica to attend military school in mainland France. This was a significant turning point in his life, as it marked the beginning of his journey away from his homeland and into the broader world. The experience proved formative, exposing him to military strategy and instilling in him a sense of discipline. He quickly adapted to the rigorous demands of military training, showing a natural talent for leadership. He endured mockery for his Corsican accent and humble origins. His peers often ridiculed him, but these experiences only strengthened his resolve. Yet Napoleon persevered, driven by an unwavering self-belief and a thirst for knowledge. He was determined to prove himself, not just to his peers, but to the world. He devoured books on military history and philosophy, immersing himself in the tactics of great commanders. This self-education laid the foundation for his future military strategies and his rise to power. The French Revolution, erupting in 1789, would change the course of Napoleon's life. France, engulfed in chaos, was at war with much of Europe. Napoleon, now a young artillery officer, saw an opportunity to prove himself. His first major victory came at the Siege of Toulon in 1793. His strategic brilliance, evident in the way he positioned his artillery, impressed his superiors. Promotion followed promotion. Napoleon's star continued to rise. He distinguished himself in campaigns in Italy, demonstrating a remarkable grasp of military strategy and tactics. His victories not only secured France's borders, but also fueled his growing ambition. Napoleon was no longer content to be just a soldier. He saw himself as a leader destined for greatness. Napoleon returned to France a hero. His military victories had made him immensely popular. He was seen as a strong leader, a man who could bring order to a nation still reeling from the chaos of the Revolution. Napoleon, ever the opportunist, recognized the shifting political landscape. He carefully cultivated relationships with influential figures, positioning himself for a grab at power. In 1799, Napoleon, with the support of key allies, staged a coup d'état, overthrowing the weak and unpopular Directory. The coup, known as the coup of 18 Brumaire, installed Napoleon as first consul, effectively making him the ruler of France. His political maneuvering had proven as sharp as his military tactics. Napoleon, the once obscure Corsican artillery officer, had become the most powerful man in France. Section 5. Emperor of the French Crown of Ambition achieved. Napoleon, now first consul, moved swiftly to consolidate his power. He was a man of vision and determination, understanding that to secure his position, he needed to bring about significant changes that would benefit the nation and win the loyalty of its people. He implemented a series of reforms, stabilizing the French economy and restoring order. These reforms were not just superficial changes, they were deep and structural, aimed at creating a robust and resilient economy. He established the Bank of France, which played a crucial role in stabilizing the national currency and fostering economic growth. Additionally, he reformed the education system, making it more accessible and standardized, ensuring that future generations would be well educated and capable of contributing to the nation's prosperity. One of his most enduring legacies was the creation of the Napoleonic Code, a comprehensive legal system that is still the basis for civil law in many countries today. This code simplified and unified the legal framework, making it more just and equitable for all citizens. His reforms earned him the support of the French people. They saw in him a leader who was not only capable, but also willing to take bold steps to improve their lives. They saw in him a leader who could bring stability and prosperity. Napoleon's ability to connect with the common people and address their needs was a key factor in his rise to power. In 1804, Napoleon took the final step in his ascent to absolute power. This was not just a political maneuver, but a carefully orchestrated event that would cement his legacy for generations to come. In a lavish ceremony at Notre Dame Cathedral, he crowned himself Emperor of the French. The grandeur of the event was designed to showcase his power and the new era he was ushering in. The act was highly symbolic, representing a break from traditional forms of authority and the dawn of a new order, demonstrating that Napoleon's authority came not from the church or any other earthly power, but from himself and the will of the French people. This self-coronation was a bold statement of his independence and the legitimacy of his rule, but from himself and the will of the French people. The French citizens celebrated this momentous occasion, seeing it as the culmination of their hopes and aspirations for a strong and unified nation under a leader who truly represented their interests. Section 6. Europe at his feet. The Napoleonic era. Napoleon's ambition extended far beyond the borders of France. He envisioned a Europe united under his rule. He embarked on a series of military campaigns conquering much of Europe. His armies, known as the Grande Armée, were a formidable force, led by some of the most talented marshals in history. From the Iberian Peninsula to the heart of Russia, Napoleon's campaigns reshaped the political map of Europe. He installed his relatives on the thrones of conquered nations, creating a network of client states. His empire seemed unstoppable, his armies invincible. Section 7. The Tide Turns. Exile and the End of an Era. Napoleon's reign, however, was not destined to last. His ambition, his insatiable desire for conquest, ultimately proved to be his undoing. The invasion of Russia in 1812 marked a turning point. The Russian winter and the scorched earth tactics of the Russian army decimated the Grande Armée. Weakened and defeated, Napoleon faced a coalition of European powers determined to end his rule. He abdicated in 1814 and was exiled to the island of Elba. He escaped Elba in 1815 and returned to France, rallying his supporters for one last campaign. His attempt to regain power, however, was short-lived. He was defeated at the Battle of Waterloo and exiled to the remote island of St. Helena in the South Atlantic. Section 8. The Emperor's Shadow, Napoleon's Enduring Legacy. Napoleon died in exile in 1821, at the age of 51. His reign, though marked by war and conquest, left an indelible mark on France and Europe. He remains a paradox, a figure both revered and reviled. He was a ruthless conqueror, yet also a brilliant administrator who modernized France. He was a military genius who revolutionized warfare, but ultimately succumbed to his own ambition. Napoleon Bonaparte's legacy is complex, a tapestry of triumph and tragedy. His story continues to fascinate and inspire, a reminder of the enduring power of ambition, the allure of glory, and the